you can run to. Safe from devils that will hunt you. Say you're not ready, but he's on you. So please shine bright like the sun do. Ooh, wondering why many churches are closed. Illiberal policies going unopposed. Stand up in faith and the vanity goes. On progress I'm working, but he already knows.
When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders. When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders.
Yeah, here come that devil again. Must be a lib always meddling. He knows I ain't gon' let him in. I ain't a beta male, I ain't feminine. I got the medicine, I don't play. I ain't better than I won't sway. I like melanin, I'm an elephant. I'ma tell the truth and no shame. Y'all think I'ma just fold. I'ma fight the fight, I won't roll. I'ma light the light and my light is bright, cause I know that I'm not alone. I'm in my zone, he's on the throne. I'm not confused, he's on my dome. I ain't no rat, ain't no Democrat. I am a god, he never will cap, okay? Mask off and stop fearing. Grab a job and move your rear end. Take a look at my past, I was freaking. In fact, got my foot on the gas and he's steering. Whoa. Now when the devil talking, please don't run. Snatch that coward by the throat and tell him I'm with the sun. He'll leave you alone for a little, but he coming for you. Just put your faith in him, cause God could work wonders for you, okay?
When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders. When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders.
Yeah. He's working wonders now. No wonder it's working out. Previously tongue-tied when it comes time to speak up for what I deserve. Back when I couldn't find the words. In this life I learned if I observe, then I'll discern the lies they hide behind the curtains. In the circus to define the word that's in verse where I find the courage. And when I am heard, I'll be sure that my pride is earned. Picture Reese sitting in a scene where he didn't speak. Everybody looking at him like kid's a freak. Literally paralyzed by history. Perpetuated in defeat, but in retreat. See, he turned his weakness to his Herculean. Words served to ensure his freedom. And the shackles that bound him converted in purpose. A perch down beneath him observing the beacon. Picture me spitting this flow to the masses. 4 out of thrown up this glow up is drastic. We put our soul in this, but never sold for this. Trevor and Topher, no holding us captive. Devil's been known to control us with tactics. Motives exposing and focus the faction. We put our soul in this, but never sold for this. Trevor and Topher, you know it's a classic.
When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders. When I can't find the words to say what I feel, what I discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders.
Yeah. It's gonna be legendary right here, man.
Let's get it.
Word. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. I'm just here to bring the facts. I'm not worried about your feelings. It's the way that y'all react. It goes way beyond the killings. Y'all can focus on the bad while I keep being the realest. Got me looking at the stats, trying to find out what the deal is. Take a look at DOJ, murder rating, what they say, 52% on homicides, like we ain't taking vacay, data sad. I don't get it, then you blame it on your payment. No, it's not, you just ignorant, you the problem, just admit it. Tired of us going through this cycle. Blaming others means you in denial. Situations getting dire, this is vital. So it's time for us to crack open the Bible and get back to the truth.
Yeah, I know you ain't gon' like it. Yeah, I know you ain't gon' like it.
Some of you ain't got a clue.
Heaven knows that I'm fighting. Heaven knows that I'm fighting.
Get them back to the truth.
A black liberal ain't nothing but a house Negro. I said it. I just said it. Drop the bomb. Boom. A black liberal ain't nothing but a house Negro.
See that nonsense stretching, phantom in the comment sections. Off a limit, calling it progression. All you wanna do, follow deception, no direction. See the scope, it's TT and dope. Every argument will go past yours, and why they're feeding us like goats. See now, only gonna find the way truth into lie. Knowing about it, but taking two from the fight. Maybe you don't make it out doing right. They'll kill you and label it suicide. Whistleblower, to some you're just a voter. Never wanted you to be a pistol holder. Every candidate been a joker. Oh no, sir.
Tired of us going through this cycle. Blaming others means you in denial. like this is vital. So it's time for us to crack open the Bible and get back to the truth.
Yeah, I know you ain't gon' like it. Yeah, I know you ain't gon' like it.
Some of you ain't got a clue.
Heaven knows that I'm fighting. Heaven knows that I'm fighting.
Get them back to the truth.
Y'all so pressed but master to swear up and down that Black Lives Matter and that y'all need master and master need y'all. I don't need nothing from nobody. I got Jesus, baby.
Now, don't start that again. No, it wasn't able to work for me. I tried, said unable to complete transaction. Interesting. Still no verdict in Rittenhouse.
Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. I am one of the two kings of the Rube Empire. The philosopher.
The Ivory Tower!
Wow. You're just too excited.
Just the Ivory.
I'm the Philosopher King.
Yes, you.
I'm the Ivory Tower.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
the Mad Scientist Matt, and I've got a perspective on things. With me, the Kick-Ass Duke. The right hand of the kings. The producer, Dusty.
How you doing, Matt?
Good. Very tired. Yesterday I was feeling very crappy. And what is going on with this image? Why is the image all weird?
I don't know, but the camera's not focusing.
Yeah. This camera should be fine. There we go. Hey, how's it going?
Here. There you are. Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, whatever. It's my gray shirt. That's why. Okay. So I'm kind of a floating head. Whoa. So yeah, was feeling really crappy yesterday. Slept like a bear and didn't go to work today. But here I am, right as rain, ready to lay down the truth.
Lay down the law.
How you been?
Come on. Good. Stressful. Holiday season usually is. This is my busy season. So, yay.
Money.
Uh-oh. Copywriting.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we just got a copyright claim. Oh well.
There we go. For us
What'd you say?
For us singing it, we get a copyright claim, even though it's our voices.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We can always contest it, but whatever. So, if you haven't read the title of today's episode, there was a Chinese dissident. His name is Weiwei, and he made a pretty bold claim that America, in many ways, is already an authoritarian state, and we don't know it yet. Now, when I first read that, I was like, well, the Rube Empire knows it.
Yeah. Yes.
The Rube Empire.
We've been saying this.
Yeah. Been saying it for a long time. Keep cutting each other off.
4 years?
Your audio is cutting in and out.
Sorry. It's about 4 years now since we kind of knew that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'll read this. I'll read a little bit of this article. The guy's an artist. He's a Chinese dissident. He's a frequent critic of the democracy and human rights violations of China. And he sat down with PBS reporter Margaret Hoover during a Friday interview on Firing Line, and during which he discussed his new book. And so in the book, this is the reason that they have him on, right? But I don't think they got what they were looking for. So Hoover brings up a line from Weiwei's book in which the artist drew comparisons between Mao Zedong's nightly directives and former U.S. President Donald Trump's tweets. And so she's like, in your book, you were describing the directives of Mao Zedong during the Cultural Revolution that would be distributed publicly every night. And then you write, this is your quote, they served a function similar to Donald Trump's midnight tweets in office. They were the direct communication of a leader's thoughts to his devoted followers, enhancing the sanctity of his authority, Hoover said. She asked, do you see Donald Trump as an authoritarian? And you can see the glee on her face as she's expecting him to go, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
In response, Weiwei said he didn't see Trump as an authoritarian, suggesting if you are authoritarian, you have to have a system supporting you. You cannot just be an authoritarian by yourself. I mean, you can have authoritarian ideas, leanings, etc., etc. Let's go, Brandon.
But
welcome to the Rube Empire, citizen.
Let's go, Brandon. Ace.
Yes. Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
But then he goes on to say, but certainly in the United States with today's condition, you can easily have an authoritarian. In many ways, you're already in an authoritarian state. You just don't know it. When pressed, he added that many things happening today in the U.S. can be compared to the Cultural Revolution in China, specifically citing people trying to be unified in a certain political correctness. That is very dangerous, he stated. It's very philosophical, he continued. With today's technology, we know so much more than we really understand. The information has become jammed, but we don't really have the knowledge. You just think you're purified by certain ideas that you agree with. This form of political correctness or societal groupthink is posing dangers to society, to an extremely divided society. He's absolutely correct. 100%.
Yeah.
We got strong one in the chat. The Iron King.
Yes.
Couldn't, he can type, I guess, but not up here.
Apparently.
Just ragging you. Rittenhouse proved that if you shoot into a crowd of leftists, you always hit a pedophile. Yes, that is great. And then he says, wow. Shots fired. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm just ribbing you. The strong one will be here tomorrow night, as the Kick-Ass Duke will not be able to make it, and I'm extremely boring by myself. So.
Oh, I'm not supposed to agree with you.
Yeah,
am I?
no.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
just your
sorry.
king, whatever.
Sorry, King. Sorry.
Enjoy
Sorry.
the guards at your doorstep at 3 a.m. Anyway, no, people are free. People are free in the Rube Empire. just not Dusty. He's not people.
Just not me.
He's not people. He's Dusty.
I'm the Kick Duke.
Yeah. Anyway, so this guy's 100% correct, and in fact,
yes, he is.
What Strongman had to say, talking about Rittenhouse, I mean, that's one evidence. I mean, just the fact that this trial is even happening.
Well, the fact that this interviewer was expecting this guy from China to agree with her, and oh yeah, Trump's a tyrannical leader, and then he goes, no, Biden.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Basically. He
Yeah.
didn't go out and say it that outright, but yeah, that's basically what he's saying. Let's go. Brandon says, as Tucker Carlson said, Rosenbaum died as he lived, trying to touch an unwilling minor. Oh man. He also said,
Yeah,
remember
he
when
got
Chinese leaders lectured Blinken on human rights? And I guess, Blinken. Sounds familiar. But, anyway.
Lincoln. Oh,
Can't remember.
I don't know.
You know, I think he was like an ambassador or something. Either way.
Was he?
Don't quote me on that. But either way. Yeah, Secretary of State. That's right. Secretary of State. Yeah, I do actually remember that, and it's like you know that we know what you're doing, right?
Right.
You know that the world knows how you're treating your people, right? Like,
Mass
sure,
murdering.
Yeah, Biden has
kill-
his massive problems, and he is an authoritarian, and his administration is authoritarian, but like, it still pales in comparison to what you're doing. Like, you know that, right?
Correct. Well, they should.
Well, and then, yeah, you're right. Blinken conceded to them. Why China is even on the Human Rights Council of the UN? Why there is even a UN? First of all, is one thing, but anyway, back to Weiwei. He's absolutely right. We are an authoritarian state. Rittenhouse is proof of that. This trial should never have happened because there's zero evidence to bring it to trial. You know, but politics runs the judiciary.
He's being tried for reckless handling of a firearm, or reckless discharging of a firearm, right?
Well, recklessly endangering the public with a firearm.
Okay. And the prosecution stands up in his closing statement, picks up the gun, and breaks the number one rule. Rule number one when handling a firearm.
Don't point
What's that rule?
Don't point it at people unless you are going to use it.
Correct. And number three rule, that was actually number two. Number three rule is never put your finger on the trigger.
Yeah, exactly. And does that immediately. So he not only pointed it at the jury, but had his finger on the trigger.
Yes. Rule number one is always assume the gun is loaded.
Yeah, true.
Always assume. So when he picked up the gun, did he check the chamber? No, he did not. Did he make sure that the gun was on safety? No, he did not. Did he make sure, do any preliminary checks?
No.
Alec Baldwin would say no, he didn't. He pulled an Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. I mean, but this is
he's lucky he didn't shoot one of the jurors.
This is why the left is so scared of guns, because they know nothing about them.
No, they don't.
They have the recklessness of children thinking it's a toy, while at the same time being scared out of their freaking minds about it, again, because they don't know anything, because they have the knowledge of a child when it's compared, when it comes to guns and many other subjects, frankly.
Yes. Economics.
But
morale.
I was watching a little clip. Gosh, what's her name? She's a blonde chick on The Blaze.
I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Gosh, what is her name?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not remembering it. Anyway, she had Elijah Schaefer on, and he was he was there filming video while Rittenhouse was, while the whole thing was going down with Rittenhouse, he didn't actually get the scene per se, all of it, but he got,
Okay.
he was there in the midst of it, and he made a fantastic point that even if Kyle wins this trial, we, the people, have already lost. So first off,
Yeah.
it's not his right to defend himself that's on trial. It's all of our rights to defend ourselves on trial,
Yeah.
Secondly, even if he wins, the truth is they can do whatever they want to you.
Yeah.
They
Take
can
the trial.
they can drag you through court, bankrupt you,
Mhm.
and destroy and basically destroy your future at their whim.
Well, didn't GoFundMe and there was something else that group fundraiser both banned Rittenhouse from being able to raise money.
Yeah. It's freaking sick.
Yeah.
He was judged.
Absolutely.
He was judged in the. He was judged in the media immediately. And so we have this sick oligarchy going on, where all these companies fall. I mean, really, it's not even an oligarchy. Maybe it is. I don't know. I have to get specific on what the definition of oligarchy is. So I'm not going to use that term. I'm just going to say we have the sick symbiotic nature of corporate of corporations and corporate media and this gigantic government that lords over us, and so you have there are activist troops on the ground rioting in the streets. All right.
Yeah.
A kid with a gun ends up defending himself because these psychos and pedophiles want to hurt him. As he's got the gun to defend himself because he knows he's in the middle of a riot, but he's actually going
Correct.
around offering medical treatment to anybody who needs it. And then these psychos
And putting out fire.
Yeah, and putting out fires that these psychos have started, and then they go running after him, and he has to defend himself, and he kills them, and injures one other.
Yeah.
Okay, now JBN says it's a small group of people having control of a country, organization, or institution. Okay, so that kind of fits, yeah. When so then he has to so then they're gonna prosecute the hell out of him because the politics, because the government sides with the protesters, the leftist government.
I hope snot out of him after they find him not guilty. Sues CBS, CNN, NBC.
For sure. I hope he does too.
And then sues the prosecutors.
Yeah.
Why not?
You should sue the people who wouldn't let him raise funds on their platform too.
Yeah.
Because there was no reason. I thought we were innocent until proven guilty in this country.
Correct. Oh, he's racist. We can't support a racist.
Yeah.
Show me where.
Well, that's the thing, and so then he's going to be dragged through court because of the politics, and then corporations say no, you can't raise funds on our platforms because you're white and you shot people you were on the wrong side of the protests of the riots.
Even
while
though
the corporate media
out there,
sorry, go ahead.
he wasn't arguing with the protesters. He was just there rendering aid to people, and somebody attacked him.
Yeah,
because
he had a gun on him, which means that you're not
because he had a gun.
He had a scary gun, and he was also putting out fires, so they didn't want that to happen.
How dare he?
And so he then all the while the corporate media are throwing his reputation through the dirt. The president of the United States calls him a white supremacist, I believe.
Yes.
you know,
I was president for defamation.
this is all authoritarian garbage. This is Mao's Cultural Revolution.
Yeah.
The only thing is
Hey,
that
I found interesting. Do you know what the most expensive retirement home is?
no.
$718,000 a year. The building houses one person, the White House.
That's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny. It's hospice care, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's so we got that. We're in an authoritarian state. There's just no ifs,
Pretty
ands,
much.
or buts about it. And the authority, the government has recruited all of these different cultural mechanisms to assist them in their totalitarian rule. And we're seeing it play out live with Rittenhouse. Let's keep praying that he will get acquitted, and then pray for the city of Kenosha, because they're already planning riots. I saw the most brilliant Babylon Bee headline.
No.
It said,
Okay, come on.
it said, judge asks Kyle Rittenhouse to go out and defend the courthouse while the verdict is being read. And so you see him with his AR-15 on the steps of the courthouse. It's genius. Oh my god, they are so good.
That's pretty funny.
That's very funny.
And it's a sad thing. You could tell the judge really, I hate to say it, he is a little bit biased for Rittenhouse. But he's been a very fair judge overall.
He's a little bit biased towards,
Calling
but why shouldn't he be?
Yeah. I mean,
technically, if we're innocent until proven guilty, every judge should be biased towards the defendant.
it's up to the state to prove guilt.
Mm-hmm.
Rittenhouse could just sit there, not say a word, not say anything, and unless the state doesn't prove their case, he gets to go free.
And they have not. But, we live in 2021 America. So who knows what this jury is going to be doing. Like, it should have been, we go in and we walk right back out because we all know that the kid didn't do anything. And yet, the jury deliberates. Did you hear what the prosecutor said? He said that he had discarded his right to defend himself by bringing the gun.
That goes against every constitutional right in the entire list of constitutional rights.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does. But it's also idiocy of the highest order.
Mm-hmm. Because, you have every right to carry your gun. You have every right to speak, and you have every right to be out in public and travel.
Yes.
When did he give up those rights? Because
He didn't. But these people are scumbags. These people are scumbags. They'll do or say anything. Anything. The whole purpose of having the gun is to defend yourself. How can you be discarding that right by bringing the thing? Well, it was an unequal. Yeah, damn right it was.
Yeah,
that's the whole point. I'm 17.
It is the great.
All right, I'm 17, and these were grown-ass adults chasing after me. I needed an equalizer because it was unequal from the beginning.
Yep.
And now I've made it equal with my unequal show of force.
So the prosecution even got ridiculed by the judge, and I love what the judge did here. What they did was they actually ridiculed Rittenhouse for keeping his mouth shut when the police were questioning him, engaging in his Fifth Amendment right to keep silent.
Yes, his Miranda rights.
His Miranda rights and the right to
Not incriminate yourself.
not incriminate, which is your Fifth Amendment right of zip the lip. Oh, if I could just get my hands on that prosecution, just smack him upside the head a few times and send him back to law school. Say, here's the Constitution. Here's the law.
Dude doesn't care about
This
the
trumps.
Constitution. Dude doesn't care about the law or justice. Dude
No,
cares about his
he's going-
career, his money, his wealth, his power, and his leftist ideology, which ultimately leads to more money, wealth, and power for him. He doesn't want to compete. He doesn't want to bring justice. Sorry, every time I'm talking, it's cutting you off, so we can't talk over each other. Sorry.
I hope he gets fired.
Yes. There we go.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know why sometimes it doesn't do that and sometimes it does. It's weird. Skype is funny that way. Anyway.
Yes.
JBN says CNN is bribing him. Not just that. I mean, isn't oh man, who is the Attorney General of Wisconsin?
I don't know.
Give me 1 second. Or actually, chat. Look it up. Who is the Attorney General of Wisconsin? Because I think he's actually somebody we've seen before. Anyway,
wouldn't surprise me any or heard of.
But I want. Okay, so Rittenhouse. You know, our rights are on trial. They win already because they destroy this kid's reputation and they prove that they can do it to any of us. You know, this one got national news attention, so he's gotten help, but you know, and it's not going the way that the national news wants it to go. Josh Cowell.
Thank you, JBN.
Maybe it was Minnesota's. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Anyway, okay, so not who I was thinking of, but you know that there's political pressure. I mean, this is the state prosecutor acting like this. A state prosecutor acting like this. And it doesn't seem like he's afraid that he's doing a piss poor job and making a mockery of, you know, the state on this deal. Because he's probably gotten he's gotten orders from on high in the state of Wisconsin to do exactly what he's doing. It's just not working because, thank God, there's still a semblance of common sense in America. You know, thank God for this judge. We still have to see what the jury does because, you know, they could have lost it, or they could be afraid. They could be afraid of more riots. They could be afraid of, you know, the doxing that was happening earlier. You know, I mean, this is sick. This is sick injustice, and we don't live in the America we grew up in, and it's freaking disgusting. But I have more. There's more. But wait, there's more. Okay, so this is a story about The View, and like, I know it's The View. We shouldn't be surprised, right? We shouldn't be surprised. But, former Fox and Friends host Jedediah Bila. Have you heard of her?
Is that the blonde one?
She's got brown hair. She's pretty solid on most things, I'd say.
Okay.
She was on The Blaze. She's on former Fox and Friends host. She was actually the token conservative for a good year on The View itself.
Okay.
Before I'm sure that just infuriated her so much that she needed to get out of there. But she came back on The View to promote her new book that she's got. And so Joy Behar starts off and she says, "Okay, Jed, let's address the elephant in the room. You were supposed to join us in the studio weeks ago, but you couldn't because ABC has a very strict policy. You can't get into this building unless you're fully vaccinated. Quote, everybody in this room knows that and is vaccinated, but you made a conscious decision not to get the vaccine."
That's the elephant?
Yeah. And to The View? Come on. Yeah, that's the elephant.
It's not much.
Say that again?
That's not much of an elephant.
To The View, it's enormous. It's a gigantic elephant.
Okay.
Well, obviously, we don't think like they do. They're insane. They're insane.
I would have
people.
thought her views, her thoughts on abortion, her thoughts on the president of the United States.
No, just listen.
They go scene. Okay.
Just listen.
All right.
Just listen.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I am not a candidate for this vaccine, Bila replied, noting that a team of doctors signed a medical exemption. She added that since she has had COVID-19, her, quote, sky-high, multi-tier, multifaceted natural immunity has been, quote, substantiated by letters from these doctors. I am not anti-vax. What I really want is for people to make these decisions for themselves. She continued as a cast member groaned audibly. However, I do oppose mandates. Bila added the existed COVID-19 vaccine does not prevent you from getting COVID and does not prevent you from transmitting COVID. All true. Yep. All verified by the CDC and many, 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 many other sources.
WHO even.
Mm-hmm. This is their response. Oh my goodness. It's like, no, that's not so. You've been at Fox TV too long. And of course, the studio audience is like, because they're all sheep.
Come on, sheeple.
I don't understand why you would choose to prioritize your personal freedom over the health and safety of others, said co-host Sunny Hostin. I don't think we should allow this kind of misinformation on our website, said Hostin, talking over Bila, who eventually got to reply. I am prioritizing my health, Bila said, over the health and safety of other people. Whoopi Goldberg promptly intervened, saying, This should sound very familiar to you, Jed. We have to go to break. That was all they get. So she's spreading misinformation, saying that vaccinated people can get and transmit COVID. 100% accurate.
Yeah.
And these absolute morons.
Yeah.
Why are you prioritizing your freedom over the... Sonny Hostin, I know you're too dim-witted and thick of skull to get this, but when she prioritizes her freedom, she's also defending your freedom, you freaking imbecile.
How dare you compare your freedom to my freedom?
We all have individual rights. When one individual stands up for their rights, they're standing up for every individual's rights because the rights are individual.
And they're ordained by who? Was it Biden? Or the White House? It was ordained by the Senate, right? Your rights were ordained by them, right?
No.
Oh, no. Ordained by God.
Yeah. God himself.
Yes. Inalienable rights. In other words, they cannot be taken from you forcibly. Inalienable.
Exactly. Well, they have to do... No, see. Well, let's see. Can they be taken forcibly?
Yes.
They can be. I mean, yeah, yes, they can be taken from you forcibly, but they have to do it by force because they are inalienable, because they are
Correct.
yours, no matter who is. I mean, you still technically have the right, but your rights are being abused.
At that point,
So
yes.
like the language, yeah, they can't take them from you. You have them no matter what your situation is, but they definitely can
Exactly.
be abused, and you can be restricted from living from using your rights, from living your rights or whatever. So
Practicing your-
Wagonator says, I'm not sure I agree with the judge's decision to let Kyle guard the courthouse tonight from rioters. And so I'm going to assume that you understand that was a Babylon Bee article. And that's a
Not
joke.
everybody.
And so I'm
Rubes.
going to laugh at you. I'm going to laugh with you. I'm going to laugh with you, is what I mean. But if you didn't, that was a satire article from the Babylon Bee. But it is a very hilarious and poignant slam on the whole situation.
Hysterical.
Yes, genius. But okay, so
Yes.
these I mean, this is Sultan 710. China has literal death camps. You're absolutely right. Death camps.
Yes, they do.
Labor camps, re-education camps. You name it, they've got it. I mean, there's this this Chinese defector that was on Tim Pool, I believe, and she was talking about how she had come to understand that she had rights. Like the people don't know that they have rights.
Yeah, it's a foreign concept.
It's completely foreign. She ended up there was a Western teacher from America who was teaching at her university. All right. And he invited her back to his apartments, to discuss things, and and they she goes to the apartment. They have to take her name. And they take her name and the reason why she's visiting this person in order to go up to his apartment. That's how strictly controlled this is. And once she's there, like, so he had gotten her thinking about things, and she knew that she was in dangerous territory going to him, so she kind of snuck in to see him. And then he shows her the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and that, and explains to her how God has given her these rights, and that kind of just blows her freaking mind. and she starts to, but she can't say anything because you have to be about the party. You don't do things to better yourself. Everything you do has to be to better the party. If you're about bettering yourself, that's a problem. That's Western thinking.
Yep.
It has to be about bettering the party. Sultan says, yeah, it's completely sickening how they're allowed to do this with no response. And it's like, yeah, that's true. I mean, it's sickening how they're on the Human Rights Council of the UN. China and Russia.
Yeah.
Both.
How are both of them on the Human Rights Council?
Because because the UN.
How is any Human Rights Council? Because, dear Lord, all of them at some point in time have slaughtered or done something absolutely asinine.
True.
To the human, just an abomination. United States included.
Now
we've done some pretty horrendous things.
Mm-hmm. Now, the question is, what's the answer? We have a problem. So going to war with China would be disastrous.
For us, yes.
Yeah, for a lot of people. But we are also, I mean, they own a ton of our debt.
Yeah.
They produce almost everything that we use. Right?
I'd say at least half or 60%.
Yeah. And then the rest of it comes from, places that are around China, over which they have some measure of influence. So Taiwan, India, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Pakistan.
And so,
and then Mexico, of course.
and like those are two major issues with, like, I'm not saying that we shouldn't sacrifice our comfort for, to violate these human rights abuses, for the violation of these people, but it's more than just our comfort. It's like everything,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if everyone teamed up, we could definitely beat them. They can't. Yeah, it's yeah. You're not wrong. No empire. But the New World Order won't come through war.
No.
The New World Order is coming through peace. It's gonna come through peace. It's gonna come through allies and alliances and all that.
Yep.
I don't know. He said, also surprisingly, America would have a lot of Muslim support against China, meaning soldiers and borders. And there are Muslim countries close to China, but we're the Great Satan. They don't look at China as the Great Satan. In fact, when Afghanistan, when we left Afghanistan, that miserable affair, who was the first person in there? China. Hey, China. Hey, Afghanistan. We recognize you, Taliban, and we want to set down mining rights for all this, all these rare earth metals you got. Let's
give me some of that you got there.
We got money for you. You got our support, and we just need those rare earths. And true, they may not understand what's happening to their brethren, the Uyghurs, but you also have to understand that there's many different shades of Islam. Islam isn't a monolith either. So you got the Sunnis and the Shias, and then a bunch of other splinters. There was an evangelist named Nabil Qureshi who became a Christian and left Islam, but he was a devout Muslim, and his family was from a sect of Islam that was extremely peaceful. His father served in the Navy in America. Does not view America as the Great Satan. So it's like the Uyghurs could be apostates to the Sunnis and the Shias. Who knows? It's all a big crapshoot.
It's a mess.
It's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
But either way, I mean, something does need to be done. Sanctions, but it's hard to do sanctions when they make all of our computer products,
It's hard to make sanctions. Well, they pretty much control most of the money coming out of the East, period. So Russia relies on them to buy their military gear, though China's quickly building their own. They're stealing all of our patents. I mean, dear Lord, they have keys to the patents office.
Yeah.
They've already been sued, 6 times by Apple for patent violations?
And that means all of
what? To China? Nothing.
Exactly.
But they are starting to force some of that intellectual stuff. Not much, but some.
Well, yeah, but what does enforcing do? Oh, it costs them money. They still got the patent.
Yeah,
They've already gotten it. Who cares? I mean,
yeah, they're still making it under the table.
yeah, exactly. Or at least learning from it and then changing it enough to make it their own. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sultan says,
So
I heard their fighter jets are replicas almost. Yeah, wouldn't
yes,
surprise me. Yeah. They're a
F-23.
huge problem, man. They're a huge problem. And we've let them get to this point. See, that's
Yes.
the big deal.
Go back 20 years
We
ago.
hoped and hoped.
Who was the
Sorry, say that again?
Go back 20 years ago? Who was the biggest threat? Wasn't China?
No, they were violating human rights and all that stuff. We knew that. But there were
Yeah.
we saw democratizing forces, post Zedong and all and his people. But Xi Jinping is Zedong all over again. In fact, the ruling council or whatever they're called basically stated as much recently. He is like they were praising him big time. He's got big plans. They've just been sitting and waiting, and biding their time.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're the thing that we have going for us though is that their economy is garbage.
Yeah.
Their economy is the economy is it's illusory. It's an illusion. Completely. Except
Yes. Well,
except for Hong
if it was-
Kong.
if it wasn't for the U.S. essentially propping up their economy by buying so much stuff from them,
Well, there's that.
they have anything.
That's true. There's that, and there's it's not all trade based. There's also Hong Kong. Hong Kong has been a blessing to them, right?
Yeah, as a cash cow.
Because Hong Kong was free. It was under British rule. And so
Mhm.
it became a very big economic powerhouse. And then Britain relinquished it to them.
Capitalism made it into a powerhouse. What?
So China doesn't have this pure communism, right?
No.
It's got this pseudo communistic it's like authoritarian capitalism,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's got that going for them. They also want Taiwan to be their property. They talk about it like it is. They enforce it ruthlessly within their influence like it is. I mean, the freaking people of Taiwan had to compete in the Olympics under a different name.
Yeah. Other countries.
They had a specific name. I can't remember what it was. Let me look it up. Or if somebody in the chat wants to do it.
The title countries. There's a subsect where people that want to compete but their country won't sponsor them, you can go and compete even though you don't have a country.
Well, it wasn't that Taiwan didn't want to support them.
'Cause China wouldn't let them.
Okay, yeah.
What?
After Taiwan was
What?
banned from competing in the Olympics as a country, after the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, sided with Beijing, I wonder why. Money. It reached a compromise with the IOC in 1981 to compete under the name Chinese Taipei, which essentially prevented Taiwan from presenting itself on the world stage. I added on the world stage as a sovereign state. Disgusting. Disgusting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, China's bad. But we're headed there. We're headed to where China is. And they're using CRT. And I mean, we have a Chinese dissident, a man who lived under Chinese influence. He was a journalist in China who was constantly seeking out corruption amongst the, Chinese party, the CCP and all that. And he ended up spending 81 days in jail and then got out of there. And now he does poems and art and stuff like that, criticizing China. He's literally telling us it's already here. You just don't know it yet. I'm sure he does talk about the Uyghurs. I'm sure he does, but this was just one specific article about what is happening in America. So yeah, China's messed up, but we're headed down the same path. And this is this is all the globalist threat. This is what the globalists want. I mean, that's what communism is. It's the workers of the world unite. They want a one world government.
But here's the thing. When they say all the workers unite, they don't want you to actually unite. They want you to unite under their authority.
Yeah. They want you to unite and overthrow the current system so that they can install their authoritarian system.
Yep.
All right. That being said, on that beautiful, heartwarming note, you've been watching Plausible Foolishness, home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/plausiblepoolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, Rumble, anywhere you can get a podcast, Instagram, and minds.com. Peace out.
Peace, everyone.
Catch me walking through your hood just like I'm Kimberly Classic. It's time to face it. We fighting now for the next generation. Stop being basic. We at war, battle for all creation. The truth can align with any lie, no matter how you would place it. The son of man's like scatter flock. The kids, people like pass a lot. Who preach the truth with no mask and not spread fear and hate for an aftershock. Millions lost cause the faith is shook. The pandemic threw a major hook. Just like the punch that Nader took. The sound alone is what made you look. For a place you can run to. Safe from devils that will hunt you. Say you're not ready, but he's on you. So please shine bright like the sun do. Ooh, wondering why many churches are closed. Illiberal policies going unopposed. Stand up in faith and the vanity goes. On progress I'm working, but he already knows.
I can't find the words to say what I feel without discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders. When I can't find the words to say what I feel without discern. When the devil tries to persuade me, God will work wonders.
Yeah, here come that devil again. Must be a lib always meddling. He knows I ain't gonna let him in. I ain't a beta male, I ain't feminine. I got the medicine, I don't play. I ain't better than I won't sway. I like melanin, I'm an elephant. I'ma tell the truth and no shame. Y'all think I'ma just fold. I'ma fight the fight, I won't roll. I'ma light the light and my light is bright cause I know that I'm not alone. I'm in my zone, he's on the throne. I'm not confused, he's on my dome. I ain't no rat, ain't no Democrat. I am a god, he never will cap, okay? Mask off and stop fearing. Grab a job and move your rear end. Take a look at my past, I was freaking. In fact, got my foot on the gas and he's steering. Whoa. Now when the devil talking, please don't run. Snatch that coward by the throat and tell him I'm with the sun. He'll leave you alone for a little, but he coming for you.